How we doing, everyone? So, breaking in the last 20 minutes or so, something that I suppose most of us knew anyway. Alexis Sanchez has joined Inter Milan from Manchester United. Now, I know some of you will sit there and think, why am I speaking about Manchester United? But the simple reason being is because it's about Alexis Sanchez. And of course, he was an Arsenal player. So now he has left Manchester United. I'm going to have a little talk about it and I'm going to give my thoughts on it. So I want to get you lot involved and listen, comment section, it's always fun and always a lot of games. So no doubt there will be some of that going in there. But listen, the title says it all, okay? Because Manchester United have ruined Alexis Sanchez, okay? I don't make no secret of the fact that I absolutely hated the guy when he left Arsenal. And the simple reason being was because we all loved him when he was at Arsenal. He was our best player by a million miles. Every season he performed week in, week out. He then went into that final season before he left and his heart was not in it anymore. And he just didn't look the same. And it was best for all parties that he did leave. But the fact that he joined Manchester United, there was only one reason why he went there. And that was for money. Because if you'd went to Manchester City like we were all thinking, we'd have sat there and said, yeah, that's fine. Go to Manchester City because you're going to win the Premier League. You're going to be challenging in the Champions League and everything else. But you go to Manchester United, you're signing for a team that's no better than us. You know, since Sir Alex Ferguson left in the last, 6 seasons, Manchester United have only finished above us once. They've won the same amount of trophies. So why was he taking a step down? You look at Manchester United as a club, they are a bigger club than Arsenal. They're the biggest in England. But when you're talking about the current, situation, the climate and everything else, they're not a better team than us. He wasn't going there to further his career. He was going there for money. And it's as simple as that. And that is why so many Arsenal fans, reacted the way they did against him. Because they feel that they were let down by Alexis. They feel that they were, betrayed by him. And I know that in football nowadays, there's no loyalty and everything else. But everything that we done and went through with him as a player and stuff, and it's just sad the way that it ended. And I've watched him over the last year and a half, nearly 2 years at Manchester United. And you know what? There's a part of me that sat there with a big grin on my face and I've been absolutely loving every single minute of his demise. But then there's the other part where I think, why has it come to this? How sad is it that a player of Alexis's caliber can just deteriorate so rapidly? And there's only one club that's to blame for his decline. And that's Manchester United. The fans never appreciated him. Let's be honest. The only thing that Manchester United fans ever appreciated was him playing the piano because it gave them something over, Arsenal fans and whatnot. But apart from that, they never appreciated him. Never loved the way that he was at Arsenal. It's as simple as that. So Manchester United fans, I know you'll sit there and you'll start saying, oh, he declined himself and he's this, he's that. Listen, a player that plays to the ability that he played to does not just fall to pieces that quickly. It's as simple as that. Some players just do not suit certain clubs. You've seen it with players that may have signed for certain teams. I think of Wilfried Zaha. When he signed for Manchester United, that was too soon, too young. And he couldn't, live up to all the hype and the expectation. Then you look him, at what he's doing at Crystal Palace. And he's causing nothing but problems. And Manchester United would love to get someone like Wilfried Zaha back, as far as I'm concerned. But nah, Manchester United, they ruined Alexis Sanchez. I'm pretty confident that Alexis Sanchez will go to Italy and he will absolutely tear it up, to be quite honest. The funny thing that I take from all of this is that Manchester United have not sold him. They're still paying his wages. And you've got to look at it and say, is Alexis Sanchez the biggest flop in Premier League history? Is he the biggest big name signing that has flopped? It's got to be right up there, to be quite honest with you. When you think about when he signed, the hype, the expectation, and everything else, it's got to be. You know, when you talk to most football fans in general, not just Manchester United, Arsenal, or anything else, if you speak to any football across, you know, any platform throughout the world, if you say, what reminds you of Alexis Sanchez at Manchester United, I can guarantee more than 90% say piano. That pretty much sums up Alexis Sanchez's time at Manchester United, that he will be best remembered for playing a piano. I'm sorry, but you do not go from the Alexis Sanchez that played at Arsenal and tore teams to pieces week in, week out, to a guy that's best remembered for playing a piano. I know he has some, you know, personal issues, and he seems a bit of, you know, a lone wolf, shall we say? Someone that likes to, you know, keep himself to himself, and, you know, he spends his time with his family and his dogs and everything else. But you don't just become a poor player like that. Manchester United have ruined him. It is as simple as that. What will he do at Inter Milan? Well, of course, he is actually joining up with another Manchester United player, which is Lukaku. Now, I also look at that situation and I think that he's Manchester United's best striker. Even though he's got the touch of a trampoline, why have you got rid of him? Because you've not replaced him. Fair enough. If you get rid of him and replaced him, cool. No worries at all. But you've not replaced him. Are you telling me that Greenwood's the answer right now? Behave yourself. He is not the answer right now. Martial, I rate big time. But he needs to go and start proving himself. You know, Aubameyang scored more goals than Martial in a year and a half than Martial has done in his whole time at Manchester United. So he needs to start delivering. Rashford, he's another one, young lad, got potential, but how long do you persevere with him? You know, Jesse Lingard, when was the last time he got an assist? Come on now. You look at him and he'll be best remembered for, you know, dance celebrations at the Emirates. Yes, granted, we gave him a career. And beans. That's about it, to be quite honest with you. So, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, I just think that although Manchester United are getting rid of the deadwood, are they really replacing anyone? Let's be honest about it. Arsenal are getting rid of deadwood, but we are replacing those players. It's as simple as that. I'm sorry. You can sit there all you want and bash your keyboards and say, oh, DT's this, DT's that, and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I'm talking simple facts to you. And I speak to friends of mine that are Manchester United fans, and they agree as well that, you know, you're not replacing these players. Lukaku does score goals. Despite his flaws and everything else, he still scores goals. Where are you going to replace them goals? You're already struggling in games against Crystal Palace. Come on, seriously, think about it. So, like I said, I enjoy watching football in general. I enjoy watching and seeing what goes on in the world of football. Arsenal, there is no other team. Everyone knows that that is, you know, where I am at. But I want to talk about other teams. And when something like this has just happened with Alexis Sanchez, who used to be an Arsenal player, just remember that, which is why I'm giving my thoughts on it. I feel that Manchester United have ruined him. Manchester United have hounded him out. The fans have hounded him out. The management have hounded him out. And some of the players have hounded him out. And I hope that Alexis Sanchez goes to Inter Milan and absolutely smashes it with Lukaku. And then if the likes of Greenwood doesn't progress and doesn't do what everyone seems to think he can do, remember, under 23 levels is different to the Premier League. And, you know, Rashford and Martial, they don't go and score bagfuls of goals and everything else. Then Manchester United are going to look back and say, well, there's a reason why we're in this situation. I genuinely think that Manchester United are the side that could possibly fall up and drop out of the top 6. I genuinely do. So there you go. Alexis Sanchez, he is now an Inter Milan player for the season anyway. Manchester United have to pay his wages still. What an absolute shambles. And I'm not going to lose any sleep over it because I find it absolutely hilarious that it's happening to them. And I think it's hilarious that it's happening to their fans because they're still living in cuckoo land. You're still living in the age of Sir Alex Ferguson. Wake up, smell the coffee, you're shit. It is as simple as that. Deal with it. So, as usual, let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you think that Manchester United ruined Alexis Sanchez? Did they ruin Lukaku as well? Did they allow him to put the excess weight on, shall we say? Because, you know, he doesn't look the same as what he did when he was at the likes of Everton and whatnot. But, yeah, listen, like I said, let me know in the comment section. Obviously, the Manchester United fans will be sitting there banging their keyboards and, you know, getting irate about it. Oh, my God, DT, you're obsessed. You're talking about Manchester United. I'm talking about Alexis Sanchez. And the reason why was because he was an Arsenal player. And I absolutely used to love the guy when he was here. And it is sad when you look on it and think of, you know, how badly he's fallen. But there we go. So, like I said, let me know in the comment section what you think. I'm going to be doing 2 to 3 live videos per day. Talking about Arsenal pretty much on every single one of those. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing the Europa League draw live. Yes, the Europa League draw. I can't wait. And do you know what, Manchester United fans? You can't say shit because you're in the Europa League as well, you mug. So there we go. I will see you lot for that video tomorrow. There is also a Spurs preview coming out. Get ready for that one because it's about time I let loose on them absolute wankers. So until the next video, man, I'll see you lot soon. I'm out of here.